Are you wondering how to hook up your FiTech wiring harness to get your engine running? Well, that's what we're going to show you how to do today. First, we're going to install a few sensors we don't have installed yet. Just toss a little Teflon on your water temperature sensor. Next, we're going to do our air intake temp sensor. Lastly, we're going to install this map sensor on the back of this FiTech intake. If you want to see how we installed this whole intake system, hit the little deal in the upper right-hand corner. What's the thing that's in the upper right-hand corner? There we go. Next, we're going to start plugging in our harness, referencing our good old installation instructions straight from FiTech. First, locate your O2 sensor. It's going to be easiest to install this before hooking in your wire harness because you got to spin it a bunch. You know, there's a crescent wrench, Lee. Couple oomph pounds on this. Oh yeah. Find your driver O2 connection and plug it in. Next, we do our knock sensors. We don't have our knock sensors installed on this, so we're going to see if we can get away with not doing it. Because on the Roy Garage, we improvise. How do we improvise? Screw the directions. This looks like a great place to start. We have this breakout of a bunch of sensors here that go on this part of the engine, so we're just going to work on that next, starting with the intake air temperature sensor, which happens to plug in right here.
Gentle hands.
Throttle position sensor next. This AIC. ALT we're going to save for later for the alternator. Last but not least, our temperature sensor. Next we have our cam position sensor. The harness does come with an extension if your cam sensor is on your timing cover. Next on the harness are our injectors. Now it does come with a couple different extensions depending on what kind of injectors you have. So just find the ones that fit and install that on your injector D for driver side. Just lay that. There we go. Next we find our injector P to do our passenger side injectors. There are two positive wires coming from the harness that go to your positive post on your starter. You will need to attach a battery cable to this post as well, which we picked up from our local hardware store. It does come with a heat shield. We're going to ensure that that is tucked up nice because we're really close to our crossover header. Next, we install our crank position sensor, which is tucked underneath here really nicely behind our starter. And that too has a nice heat shield. Now, a few of the ones that we have left, we have our VSS, which is our vehicle speed sensor that will go on either the backside of your transmission or transfer case. We have two transmission cables here that have extensions. No idea what this is yet. And then a bunch of accessory wires we don't need for getting our engine started right now. And a ground. And for the sake of this video, we're going to use some of these coils and a temporary plug them in and set them right in there. Next, we'll connect our fuel wire to our fuel pump. Here's where we hooked up our negative that'll go to our battery. We also utilized this bolt hole on one of the heads where we secured our 2 other grounds to. Attach air inlet tube, all vacuum hoses, and electronic connectors on the new throttle body. Reconnect the negative on your battery terminal. Turn the key on, but do not crank. Allow the fuse system to pressurize and then check to ensure there's no leaks. Do this several times. Now again, with the engine off, we're going to perform the initial programming. Go ahead and plug in your handheld. Once you get your handheld plug in, go ahead and put your turn key on. What we did to get our turn key on is we just snagged a end-to-end alligator clipped it to our key on wire, and then connected that to the battery. Next, we'll go down to right cal to ECU. We'll pick the engine and transmission combo that we'll be using. It'll start downloading. Once that's complete, we'll turn the key off for 15 seconds for reconnecting it. And about 20 seconds later, once we have the key ignition back on, we'll go to initial setup, engine setup. Make any adjustments to the injector flow, cubic inches, cam, and your rev settings that you want. This is where you make any changes you need. We have a, I believe, 323. Stock cam, so I'll switch that to 1. And everything else looks good. Ensure that you have the right reluctor plate, tooth correct. We will have a turbocharger on this eventually, but for this, we're just going to run naturally aspirated as we don't have the turbo actually hooked up to the intake. Send to ECU. Then we'll go back. Next, you'll want to set up your transmission. We don't have one hooked up, but I'm going to walk through it just so that way you can see what's going on here. Tire diameter, gear ratio, force RPM upshift, your transmission type. You'll send that to your ECU, or you can go to manual transmission. Make any adjustments to this that you need to. We are going to be putting it into this truck here, where it will be set up with the 4L80E. So we will be going through the process of setting up an automatic transmission with this FiTech system. So go ahead and subscribe so that way you get notified when that video comes out so you can see what that looks like as well. Once your transmission is set up, we'll go ahead and start our engine. To get the engine started, we just take a wire, connect it from our battery to the starter solenoid. There you have it. Thanks for watching the Roy Garage. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on next week's episode.